Oh, hello, here we are again on a Saturday afternoon. Chagford now visiting Plymouth Cricket Club, who are based at Plymouth College, which is, for those of you that don't know, just off Mutley Plain. There's been a school here since around 1877, and it's now one of the premier independent schools in the Plymouth area. Just in front of you here you can see the main building, which I think went up at around about the time the school came into existence. It comprises two houses. There's the junior house, which is down at Stone House, and then this is the senior house, or the main house, or the big school, depending on what you want to call it. And as I said, it's an independent school for boys and girls, and has been since around 1970. Could be wrong, don't quote me on that, but there we are. Chagford today playing Plymouth Cricket Club. Plymouth Cricket Club third team, in fact, and Plymouth played their innings first. They took the field to bat first and made a total of 103. We're moving on now to 46 for 3. So going along reasonably. A few wickets have fallen. We'd rather they didn't fall at this particular point in time, but you know, if we work hard, then maybe we'll carry the day. Our last few games we've run out winners, which has been very nice. In particular down at the ground near Newton Abbot, and where Harry Mount most notably made 113 not out, which was a superlative innings, and he deserves a bit of a shout out there. So we've a slightly depleted side today, but because we've got a lot of movement between, or capable of movement between first and second team, we've pulled in some second team players, and everything is looking reasonably good at the minute. So off we go, and Tom Stanbury there just played the ball out to the third man area for a single. So at the wicket we have at the moment Stuart Lepo and Tom Stanbury, and they're going to see if they can create a partnership together. And we'll hopefully see some results from that. Plymouth have their tails up slightly at the minute. They've got 3 wickets at the moment, and so they're going to be reasonably happy with proceedings, although we'll say their over rate's a little slow. It's taken them about 36 minutes to bowl 6 overs, which is quite a lot. There we go, Stuart plays out into the extra cover area, and the ball is fielded. There is no run, so that's the end of that over. So yes, we ran out victorious last week with a notable century from Harry Mount. David Joseph, our locum captain at that stage, captained the side to victory and took 6 wickets himself, coming on I think second change, so he was instrumental in securing the victory, so well done to him. There we go. We'll keep moving along here. As you can see, the surrounding is really rather nice. This is a residential area around here. You can see houses from probably the turn of last century, maybe a little later, probably just before the Second World War, perhaps in that era, I would say, something like that. And they've been built around to face the ground here, so that the locals have a rather nice outlook. So there we are. Back to the school. The school itself, I'm going to wait here actually at this moment in time, because the over is being bowled from this end, and I'll talk a little bit about Plymouth College. We'll just have a quick look over there. Let's see if we can make the zoom work. We'll see if that's going to work. No, I fear not. Oh well, never mind. I'm just going to sit here for a minute and talk a little bit about Plymouth College. It's got a very sports orientated way about it. My researchers tell me that they've trained several gold medal winning Olympic athletes from various different countries of the world, and some notable alumni of this school would be, for example, Tom Daley, the Olympic diver, Michael Ball, who I understand does singing, and there's a comedian lady, Dawn French, who also went to this school. So They quite diverse in the range of skills that we see coming out of the school, but notable people that went to this school and once called it their seat of learning. So that's all very nice. So we'll just have a quick look here. There's been a change of bowling at this end. I've got a young man coming in, Tom Stanbury, accepting strike here. I'm going to have to ask you to squint a little bit at this, I'm afraid. That's ball is bowled, looks down the leg side. Tom played down out to the leg side, but the ball struck his legs, and the enthusiastic wicket-keeper going up for an appeal for leg before wicket was denied by umpire Taylor there, who remains stolid in his refusal. So there we are now. Bowler starts his run up again. I notice he's not wearing studs and comes up to the crease, overcomes his arm and bowls, and nicely flighted delivery in straight and full. Exactly the right thing to do there. He passes the ball back to his colleague who's going to dry it. So as you can see from the sky here, it's been a little bit cloudy today. We've seen a little bit of rain. There is no question that Chagford had the best of the bowling here, because we bowled with a dry ball, and B, I think we bowled very, very well. Particular notable successes was Ben Lanyon opening the bowling from the pavilion end over there. 3 quick wickets of the top 3 batsmen there with his away swing, and he was getting the ball to cut back off the pitch as well, which will bamboozle most players, I would have to say, certainly would me. So there we are. So he gets a little shout out for his efforts, and again, ball tending towards the leg side. It will do so when one's bowling across a hill, so that the ball pitches on the hill and then pitches down the hill. But there we are. So we can move on a little bit now. So yes, we got the best of the fielding, certainly, and the pitch is now damp. There's been some rain since, which means that the Plymouth fielders are bowling and fielding with a wetter ball, which you would have to say gives us some sort of a tactical advantage there, but we do have to convert that into a winning position, and we're about halfway through the runs that we need at the moment, being as we are on 48 for 3, chasing 103. So we'll see what we can do to make that happen. Again, Stewart at the crease here, and he's solid in his defence, which is nice to see. I'll just turn around and let you take a look at this just for a while. The Steadicam should help us with that, which is great. It means that I can look where I'm going, and the camera can look where it's going. So it should then, I hope, stay trained on the image that you can see here, and it gives you a little view of the subsidiary houses for the school and so on, the pavilion, some more of the sports facilities, I believe, including a balcony up there. Just move that into centre picture there. You can see that. Just back a little. There we go. Now there are some people sat up there. There's also a balcony on the George Stephenson Pavilion, which you can see over there just immediately ahead of you where the clock is. I presume they call it the George Stephenson Pavilion because it's steam powered. I'm not really sure about that, but Stuart's just walking away here. It looks like he's broken his bat or something, so we need to find him another weapon to use. And I think we might be bringing out the new Stuart bat, the much cherished and looked after knocked in affair. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully he maintains his concentration here. As this slight change goes on, he's a very experienced player. I suspect that he will do exactly that. Very quiet, well-spoken fellow who hails from South Africa, I believe. I hope I've got that right. If I haven't, I'm going to be in some trouble, aren't I? So he's a very capable guy indeed. Excellent bowler as well as a solid batsman, and I think not at all wasted at the top of the order. He's a very, very good player at the top of the order, and we're very pleased to have him along for the side this day. Tom Stanbury is a second team player up until now and has muscled his way into the first team. He's a very capable fielder, and there we go, straight back in, there we are. A very capable fielder, he bowls a little as well, and is clearly settling himself in to bat here for a period of time. It's nice to see what we can do with that. That would be good to see. So luckily the technology seems to be holding up here. I'm under an umbrella here just in case it decides to rain, because I don't want the technology to get wet. And there's no wind, which means there won't be, I hope, any wind noise, but we'll see. I've got a special technical device on the microphone, and that hopefully stops the wind from blowing. So there we are. We'll move along a bit here, and we can see the Plymouth College nets here. They've got a grass net there, which you can see ahead of you, and if we turn back towards the main building, you may just be able to make out to the left of the main building a framework of the artificial nets that they have. So it's a very well organised and worked out cricketing facility here on a slight hill. So there's probably around about 4.5 to 5 feet of difference between where I am standing now and where I was standing, which is adjacent to the tennis courts up at the top of the ground. But that has comparatively little effect on the batsman's ability to play, and doesn't really confer much of an advantage on the bowlers either. So it's good for both sides, which is nice. A bit of wind on my face there, so hopefully that doesn't get in the way of the microphone. We'll just turn around here and have a quick look further around. There are a couple of clubs that play here. Plymouth Cricket Club third team play here. Obviously, as we said last week, when we talked about having 3 clubs and only 1 ground, 2 into 1 goes, because one team plays at home and one team plays away, but 3 into 1 most certainly does not. So they have to choose an alternative ground, and that's what happens here today. So there we are. We'll just move along there. Bowlers just bowled at one end. He's just gone out to deep square leg, or deep backward square leg, to sit and have a rest. It's quite an energetic job he has there. He runs in quite hard, which is good. Nice to see. And there we go. Tom strikes out there and returns to his crease, and there's no run. So there we are. OPMs are the other club I was going to talk about, which is Old Plymouthians, who are a well-known friendly side in this part of the world, and this is their home ground as well. They invite the odd player now and again to come and play cricket for them. I've been pleased to take the pitch for them on 1 or 2 occasions over the last 25 years or so, which is very nice. But I'm not an Old Plymouthian, as many of you will know, having come from another part of the world, but that's enough about me. We'll take our leave of things here today. Hopefully, with the weather permitting, we'll be back to Chagford next week for another one of my little monologues, if I'm allowed, and indeed if I'm spared. So as we see Stuart and Tom just taking a quick single to the square leg player, I shall sign off and say thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you next week at home, I believe, as we have emerged today into the second half of the season. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next week. Take care now. Bye-bye.